the 3 p.m. Takeover, Radio Northern Beach's only drive-home show.
Keep it right here for a whole hour of fresh hits and entertainment for your Wednesday afternoon.
Here we go.
This is My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark by Fall Out Boy.
Welcome to the 3 p.m. Takeover for another excellent week of music and topics and what else are we doing?
All the stuff we do.
Everything. More than just those two things. And more than just songs that have way too many syllables in the title.
That is a really long title. That was My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark by Fall Out Boy.
Do the songs, though? Because all I do in the dark is sleep, I think.
Me too, basically. Today I'm feeling a bit neutral because last week was the Eurovision special and now I just feel a bit plain after that.
This is like last week was like the mountaintop experience and then we plateau and we climb the mountain again next week for Eurovision. It's like the awkward in-between week of between radio and actual Eurovision.
This is true. And talking about mountains, coolest news ever today. So it is the 11th of May. So that means it's exactly 202 years since the very first crossing of the Blue Mountains by Europeans.
Wait, like exactly? Like to the day?
To the day.
Wow.
I know. It's really cool. And it took them just under a month to cross the Blue Mountains.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, we can do it
I'm a lot quicker in
now.
my car, but I'm assuming they didn't have cars back then.
No. They walked and had the carriages. But yeah, so
that's so cool.
I know it is. So the expedition was led by Blaxland, Lawson and Wentworth. So they were the pioneers of crossing the mountains, and by crossing it and kind of exploring the area, settlers were then able to access the land west of the mountains for farming, and they made the first inland establishment area, which of course was Bathurst.
That's really, really cool.
So, wow, 200 years.
That would have been a really nice area to explore. You know, some areas you hear people, especially in America, like all the deserts, and you're like, I wouldn't want to be part of the team exploring that.
I think explorers...
The lush blue mountains sound a lot nicer to me to explore.
Yeah, I think explorers generally in those days must have been so brave.
Because you literally had no idea.
No idea.
Yeah.
And you never knew, if you were going to come back, when you were going to come back, what you were going to find.
If you're going to die.
Yeah, if you were going to die, if you were going to run out of provisions. Often in those days, they would have to stop for whatever reason, and then they'd run out of provisions, and then they would just die for that.
Yeah, because you would have no idea what's edible.
Yeah, and then
these berries look good. No.
We're dying. And then these berries.
As long as someone records it for the next explorers, I'm sure it's fine.
That's true. But then the unforeseen as well, they didn't know what terrain was coming. They would often slip and, fall things and die and that kind of thing.
Yeah, because if you twisted your ankle or broke your leg,
yeah, they didn't.
The hospitals are really far away.
Didn't they leave you behind? Maybe not in the 1800s. Maybe earlier than that. If people were injured, they would just be
think if you were
okay, bye.
Bad enough, you were injured bad enough, beyond repair, and
beyond repair.
In a sense, we can't fix you here, and if the terrain was so bad, it's we can't carry you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen The Revenant, but I'm assuming this is just the plot of The Revenant.
And then would they wait for you to die or just be okay, bye? We've got to go before the sun sets. But 1813, that's really, really early. I forgot Bathurst was the first thing. Yeah, Bathurst is a great place though. From a history perspective, I really like going.
I've driven the racetrack.
Really?
Not racing, but you can
slowly
go there and you can just drive on it.
Oh.
And it has speed limits when you're just going on it normally, which is so boring.
50 k's an hour.
I think it's 70 for most areas, and the downhill bits are a bit less than all the windy bits.
70? How boring.
Yeah. I was I want to go faster.
That's not even main road speed.
Yeah. It was strange to do it because you're kind of this is not at all how this trip would normally. You'd be 10 times faster and things going past, not around the corners all slowly.
Well, that would have been how it felt to be an explorer. So slow and unplanned. You can't even tell. But anyway.
Why is there a racetrack here? Who put it here? The 1800s. How did it get here?
But anyway, so that was 1813, 202 years ago since the Blue Mountains were crossed. This is the 3 p.m. Takeover with Hope and Victoria. You're listening to Radio Northern Beaches. That was Rivers by Thomas Jack. You're listening to the 3 p.m. Takeover, and I really, really love that song.
Same. I discovered it a couple weeks ago, and I was where have you been all my life?
It's a great song. I've known it for a while.
I don't know what it is about the song, but it's incredible. I love it.
But that's what I love. It's one of those songs where you don't, you can kind of get into the flow of it, but you don't feel the need to overly listen. It's very backgroundy.
But the lyrics are good as well. I do like the lyrics as well. I
Can't
hands
say
down.
I've listened in extraordinary detail, but
it's on my Spotify playlist
go
while
with
I
that.
work.
Oh, well.
So it comes around.
Do you listen to music while you work?
Yeah. I do graphic design, and it's nice to have background music. Because otherwise it's like other people talking or other people's music if they're playing it and it doesn't work for me.
I listen to music when I'm at work writing, but I never listen to like
non-lyrical?
non-lyrical music. I listen to like soundtracks and
Well,
stuff.
it's because you have to like write stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to like get confused. You know, when you start
Suddenly,
writing
like, you're, like,
what you're saying
writing
or writing what you're
lyrics.
listening, like that kind of thing. Yeah, that's a bit crazy. So I'm feeling a bit like cluttered lately. You know, when you go through those phases where you're like, nothing in my life is organized and I need to like step my game up. And it kind of hits you all in one and you're suddenly like, I really need to sort myself out.
Yeah,
Do you get that?
and you look around your house and you're like, oh, I have too much stuff and it's everywhere, but it's all important, but it's not, and materialistic and consumerist capitalist world. I want nothing, but I need stuff. Yeah,
Pretty much. And
it's like me every second weekend. Yeah.
and it's like when you know, it makes your mind feel even more cluttered and you feel like generally more flustered if like everything physical in your house or whatever is in a mess as well. I was getting that feeling. So because of that, we are going to go through 7 tips for decluttering your life.
These sound amazing and I probably really need them. So let's do it.
Number 1's pretty easy. Plan the declutter, which I think is good because you can't just be like, I'm going to declutter and then start randomly doing stuff. If you have a plan, you're like, cool, once I'm done, and you stick to it. Number 2, important one, sort out your paperwork.
Yeah, I need to do that one. There's a bunch of like mail that I've opened and it's not like super important, but like I should probably get to it at some point, so I just stack it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm well guilty of that one.
This is my like sub tip on the side. I'm always more motivated to keep paperwork in order if I'm like filing it or putting it in something pretty.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That makes me want to do it. So
if it's one of those
invest
things,
in like some sort of pretty folder.
it's one of those things where like you have to deal with it and then just like recycle the piece of paper. I'm just kind of like, it can wait. It doesn't need to be anywhere.
Number 3 is update your wardrobe. That always makes me feel better. The spending part makes me feel bad, but then the like owning new things part just makes me feel refreshed sometimes.
Even just like, cleaning stuff out and throwing out all those things that you really don't need. And you're like, and then you finally get rid of them and you're like, there's actually like ever so slightly more room in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
I can actually like pull the coat hangers apart rather than like, try to like wrench them apart to get room.
Yeah. I always get that one, and like we had that conversation the other day where you keep stuff that you sort of bought on a whim, but then you don't really like them or you have nothing to wear them with, but you just kind of keep them around because you don't want to give them away because they fit and they're new, and then you just build up random stuff.
I always keep stuff because I'm like, what if I have a costume party to go to that's this specific theme? Like, of course I need this randomly shaped hat I'll never wear because it will go amazing with this like outfit idea I have. Like, no, Victoria, just throw it out.
No, I do that one as well. But then when a fancy costume or weird event comes up, you're always like, ooh, gonna go buy my stuff. Like, you're never like, I think I'll raid my drawers, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You always go and buy it. Number 4, empty your wallet of like receipts and general mess.
That is the best feeling. Yeah.
It's a really important one. There's nothing worse than like a clustered wallet.
You open up and
you can't even
like
get
stuff
to your
falls
stuff.
out. Yeah.
Stuff falls and people are like, hurry up. And
Yeah.
Number 5, clear out your cosmetics.
Ooh.
Nothing worse than like manky old cosmetics.
And just like no room and not knowing what you have and therefore not using it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I always find with me, everything runs out at once. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
It's just a thing.
You're using equal amounts of everything that you use.
Always works that way for me. It's so frustrating.
Wow.
Number 6, donate things.
That goes hand in hand with update and empty your wardrobe, I think. Because I never throw out clothes unless like they're really beyond use. If it's like they're full of holes and stuff. Otherwise, it always goes to Lifeline for me.
Yeah, I always give them to people or I like give them to the Smith family.
Oh yeah, you call your friends and you're like, I have like 3 garbage bags of clothes, and they come and like raid through them. Yeah.
Or then I'll put them in the Smith family bin otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, it always feels a bit better when you donate something. You're giving it to someone. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
It's very true.
As they say. True. And last tip, good one, is to keep it up. So remember to regularly give your life a bit of a spring clean, if that's a saying. It could be a saying.
Do like a quarterly clean every change of season or something.
That's smart. That's a good one. I like your style.
Thanks. We'll see you after this. Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover. That was Better Than by John Butler Trio. That song always like makes me feel really like slow and relaxed and sleepy.
I just had kind of forgotten about John Butler Trio until tonight. They're great though. Good for them.
I don't mean...
Although you said there's only 2 of them now.
No, you said where have they gone? I said maybe there's only 2 of them now.
Oh, I thought you said there were only 2 of them.
Oh, no, I have zero
I thought you were
clue.
informed on their movements.
No.
Apparently not.
I don't keep up to date with their movements.
With John Butler Trio.
No. No, not at all. But look, something very exciting happened on the weekend for you in particular.
Yeah.
On Saturday. Tell us about it.
Well, I wish it had just been on Saturday. It's been on like every day since Saturday. But I moved out, which was very exciting. And also
you're so grown up.
I know, it's scary. It was not stressful per se. Like it all went much more smoothly than I had anticipated. But like there are just so many things to do when you move out.
There's so many things you need to remember that you don't think about because you either do them normally at home or I don't know, just like they're part of your routine. So you go autopilot and don't think about them.
Yeah, there are so many things you need for like day-to-day life.
I found that when we moved, there's so many, we got there and I was just like, oh, this thing and this thing we have to think about. And what about this thing? And yeah. So
Very
you
true.
just moved. Are there any things that you realized you like need to have organized for a move? For anyone out there who's like about to move this weekend, for some reason, we could just, all the planets will align and we'll give some little reminders for them.
So I think 2 things for me. So one of the things I got into the problem of not thinking that I had certain things and then buying them and then forgetting about things and then other people buying them and then suddenly ending up with like 4 times the amount of things I needed of some things but then not of other things.
Yeah.
So I think like make a list and make sure that like once you've been like, cool, I've got mugs, make sure that like you don't get any more. So you don't double up on things. Yeah. So like stuff like that keeps happening. I ended up with 4 martini shakers. Well, I don't even like drink martinis. I don't know how that happened.
But if
I do, but rarely.
If you have a house party and 4 different people want 4 different drinks, you're like, I got you covered.
I'm ready for it.
No rinse out cleaning necessary.
Yeah, so scary.
4 martini shakers, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they're all like not even like general cocktail shakers. They all say like specific martini shaker.
You can't make any other cocktails with them.
Just martini. And then the other thing I would say is make sure you communicate really effectively with your housemate, roomie, buddy, whoever they are, to make sure that you don't think the other person's got something and then realize they don't and then be without something really important. So
I thought you bought the martini shaker. I did as well.
Well, what happened with us with that one was cutlery. And then we were something like, we have no cutlery. So like be careful that you've actually coordinated what you're doing properly. But thinking about things like that, I have looked up from Body and Soul a few tips on getting yourself organized for moving out. So,
that's helpful.
Do you want to hear them?
I do indeed.
Okay, so the first one is find the right place. That being the idea that if you have found, like if you've invested time in finding the right place, it's going to be easier on you because you really want to live there, like the actual move. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'd be slower moving things in if I was really not wanting to go to the area or something.
And you'll unpack faster because you're like, I want to live here. I want my life set up here.
Yeah, that's true. Number 2, I guess this kind of blends in, spend the time searching and planning about the area you're moving to, so make sure it has like, restaurants you'd be interested in, transports and like gyms and medical centers and shopping and, those kind of stuff you need, like work out where it all is so that you're organized and you're suddenly not like, I live here, but I know nothing about my area.
Yeah, because you're not just moving into a house or an apartment, you're moving into a suburb.
Yeah, a suburb and like a wider council area and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
your apartment does not exist in a vacuum.
Yeah.
There are other things around it that affect it. So if you're like near a main road, how loud is that main road? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All sorts of things like that. Number 3 is calculate the setup cost.
That could be hard to calculate though. Or things like, which I think you were saying, you did your first grocery shop on the weekend.
Yeah.
And you forget that's always the most expensive one because you're buying all your staples.
Yeah.
All things like vanilla essence and flour and all the random stuff that is just always in your cupboards. That has to be bought at some point.
On Sunday, I bought like a giant Parmesan cheese that I won't get through for like ages. But I was like, you need Parmesan cheese, right?
Yeah. And suddenly you're like, why is my grocery bill like 4 times what it should be every week?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
It's so much better to just bite the bullet and do that than be picking up drips and drabs. Like the worst is like...
Because you'll always forget something and you want to go, oh, I'll make that recipe I know how to make. And you go, I don't have any of the ingredients.
Yeah.
But they're normally always here. Yeah.
Like there are certainly, there are some things I wouldn't be like, cool, I'm going to buy taco shells right now because one day I'm going to eat tacos. Like you don't do things like that. But the worst is being one of those people that trails in and out of the shops every single day because you're just not organized enough to shop like once or twice a week.
A once a week shop is all you should need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twice a week for cravings.
Yeah. Number 4, plan a chore list. That's a good one. Work out like how many times you're going to clean certain areas or like when you're going to vacuum or when you're going to this or that because then things don't slip through the radar. I still have to work that out.
I think if you live in a small apartment, which I do now, it's easier just to go, okay, we're dusting, vacuuming and cleaning the bathrooms today or tonight if it's a really small place. So it's done rather than being like, oh, on Monday I'll do this bit and Tuesday I'll do this room. It's like, no, just do it. It's like the grocery shop. Just do it all at once, bite the bullet, and then you don't have to do it for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. And learn how to cook.
That's good. That's just much cheaper in the long run rather than buying takeout.
It is. I saw a program the other day that was talking about like even if you buy like coffee every single morning on the way to work or whatever, it's like something $1,000 a year. So
yeah, it's going to be $4 times 5 for once a week, and then times that by like 52. Yeah,
that's so crazy. Communicate with your roommates. So that kind of comes back to like not doubling up on things and not forgetting about things. And I suppose just general things like courtesy. You don't want to like get in their way or like wake them up when they're asleep. Like be conscious of like that person's timetable, I guess.
And if you've only got one bathroom, like if you're a morning shower and they're a morning shower, you need to work that out.
Yeah, get a timetable in place.
Yep, because otherwise you're going to be like, no, I was here first, and suddenly one of you's late to work, and then you're grumpy with each other. No, you gotta work yourselves out.
That used to happen to me when I lived at home. Like we had multiple bathrooms, and the shower system, like it would allow more than one shower in the house to be on at once, but
it didn't like it happening.
It kind of didn't like it, and there was one shower that was closer to the boiler that like always would win over the other one. And so
Our old house had that.
And so
my bathroom always got the hot water really quickly.
Oh no, so I was in the down, so I got in my shower, and then my mum would get in hers, and then like steal all my hot water, and then I'd like steal it back by turning cold completely off, so it would all come back to me, and then I'd hear like a scream from her shower, and then suddenly she'd like do something, and then mine would be like freezing, and I'd be like, ah! Like, be like the ultimate shower, and then we'd both be in a really bad mood, having had like a really horrible shower that was like a mix in temperature, all because somebody wouldn't wait for like 2 minutes.
Aww.
Next one, hide a spare key. That's really good.
Especially because if you're new to like the way you unlock your door, you like, I know our old place, I never actually usually had to use my key to get in because like my parents are always home. So our new place, I'm sometimes the first person home, and it took me so long to get used to using a key, which sounds really weird.
No, that makes sense.
And there was so many times where I just forgot my key, and I was like, lucky we have a spare key. Like, that's a really important one. You don't want to get locked out of your place.
Where do you hide a spare key in an apartment block? Is it like buried in the bush somewhere?
No, we have like a little key safe thing.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is like portable, and we have like a little like alcovey section on our floor that we can put it in.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
The next one is keep in touch with your old ways of life. So make sure that you visit your old haunts, that kind of thing. And then the next one, so important, stay on top of finances, budget, make sure you don't spend where you don't have to. But then like be nice to yourself as well.
Yeah, treat yourself, but like don't shop on an empty stomach. Always write a list when you go to the shops.
I've never heard that. Is that a saying, or is that like your saying?
Don't shop on an empty stomach. No, you don't, because if you're hungry when you go to the shops, you buy extra food that you don't need because you're hungry. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's true. I can imagine that. Yeah. That's cool. And last one, ask for help. If you're struggling with your move, if it's overwhelming, if you need help unpacking, there's probably always going to be a friend that can come and give you a hand.
Definitely.
Welcome back to the 3pm Takeover. You're listening to Hope and Victoria on Radio Northern Beaches. That was Jamie Lawson. Wasn't expecting that. Following on from Ed Sheeran with the A-Team.
Wasn't expecting that. Actually breaks my heart every single time.
It's such a nice song. He's got a lovely voice.
But have you listened to the lyrics?
Yeah.
They're like legitimately heartbreaking. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, this song at the end, I'm just like, oh, Jamie.
Oh, it's kind of sad. Okay, so it's May 11th. So it's almost halfway through May. That's crazy.
Oh my God, we're already halfway through May.
It's almost the middle of the year. It's late enough in the year that someone made one of those, like, it's only 38 weeks to Christmas kind of statuses the other day.
No.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, how are we already up to this point?
Oh my goodness.
Time is flying and it's blowing my mind.
And it's also been a fairly big-ish news week.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't pay attention to the news, but there's been a lot of stories that have caught my eye, and for me, that makes it a big news week. So, like, to start off with, just to get it out there, we have another bloody election coming up.
I know.
It's been announced for July 2nd. And like, as soon as news was done for the night for that, it was just like, and we've already prepared like all our campaign ads and every other ad is a campaign ad. And I'm like, I'm already done. It's like 3 days past that and I'm already over it.
You would have struggled living in the States.
Oh my gosh. But we're still getting all that news anyway.
I know. Can you imagine how much worse it is when you're there?
Ugh. And if any Sydney-siders noticed on Saturday morning, we all woke up to a little bit of a smog.
Oh, yeah, just a bit.
From the bushfire backburning, which was crazy. Yeah, I woke up
apparently in the Blue Mountains or something?
That's what people said, but I believe they were backburning at 40 different locations across New South Wales, and the winds just kept changing it and pushing it towards Sydney.
So it just went everywhere.
Yeah, but I believe the majority was from the Blue Mountains because it's obviously the closest.
Because I was in a few different places on Saturday, suburbs that were like 45 minutes apart, and there was smoke everywhere.
Same, yeah. And everywhere we went, I was like, can't see anything. But yeah, I woke up and I was just like, it smells like camp. That like campfire smell. Yeah. But thankfully they cleared after a couple of hours, which was good. And we actually had a really lovely day that day, which was good. Oh, did you hear? This is such a strange story. Did you hear about the 2 Sydney guys that are like bottling air and selling it to China?
I did hear about that.
Yeah.
That is the coolest business idea ever.
It sounds kind of stupid, to be honest.
But it's so popular. It's getting so much money.
Do you know how much they're selling per can?
No.
Cans are selling for $18.80.
That's awesome. I'm not surprised at all.
I am. That's ridiculous.
Have you been to China lately?
Yes, I have. And
exactly. And don't you wish you'd taken some bottled air home?
Well, okay. Yeah, I was coughing for the first 2 days. I was in Shanghai. But still, like, it just seems, I don't know, part of me is like, would you really buy bottled canned air? Anyway.
Yeah, I reckon. Niche market.
In the article I read about it, they've bottled air from Bondi, the Blue Mountains, obviously not the Blue Mountains on Saturday, Tasmania and New Zealand's Southern Alps, and Manly is their next bottling target.
I was going to say, what if we could target some Northern Beaches air and sell it?
Yeah, Manly's the next one.
Hashtag Beaches Air. We'll sell it.
Something terrible.
Like that.
Hashtag Beaches Air.
Yeah, but it's so beaches.
And their possible ones after that, they want to try and get the south of France and the Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon air.
Well, that just tastes like dust.
I know that wouldn't really be, it'd be smoggy hair.
Yeah. South of France could be nice. It just tastes like baguettes and sea spray, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Which could be quite nice. What's cool though, they had like the Blue Mountains air tested and you could like pick up the eucalyptus.
That's amazing.
I don't know if the computer picked it up or like the taste.
Or the person.
And then like the coastal locations have like, you can like taste the salt in the air or something.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So they're going into that business, which is like good for them. That's quite cool. And on like another fun note, did you see on social media, Manly Police posted a response video to the New Zealand Police, the Running Man Challenge video?
No, I did. Well, I kept seeing it, but I didn't watch any of it. I kept scrolling past it. I just was really busy.
Yeah.
Moving house.
Okay, fair enough.
I wasn't watching police dance. So what was all that? Something about New Zealand police did some dance thing and Australia did it back.
I'm not sure. Well, they did this like Running Man dance challenge thing. And I'm not sure.
I hate that Running Man thing. It's hard to do.
I have a friend who can do it in heels. It's incredible. She's very talented. I'm not sure why, but they, at the end of the video, they kind of challenge police groups around the world to like respond. And Australia being like, oh, we'll do it as well. And they did. So Manly did, and then like the Sydney police did it in like front of the Opera House and all these different locations.
Were they good at it?
Like they weren't bad, but I don't know, they're cops, not professional dancers. So
Sure.
I don't know. But it looks like they're having fun. It always makes me happy to see like positive police stories.
It's good to see the emergency services having a bit of downtime. Like they work so hard. Yeah. It's good to see them not being serious.
And often when they're in the news, it's often not always great news that they're in. It'll be like a scandal or something.
Tough for them, so it's good to have fun news.
Yeah, they work in a very stressful job. And then there's a bit of world news. Obviously the wildfires in Canada just like doubled over
horrible.
the weekend. But what's ridiculous is like, you know, when they do comparisons, like it's roughly the size of this. That always gets me because it's 1,570 square kilometers, right? Mm-hmm. It's bigger than London.
What?
Yeah, to put it in perspective, it's bigger than London. Isn't that ridiculous?
Is so crazy.
Luckily, there's no fatalities so far, which is really amazing. Like they've been so on the ball with that. And they've evacuated a whole city, which is like, can you imagine evacuating a whole city?
Canada have amazing, I used to live in Canada and they have really, really good, like, I guess our equivalent of like SES service people. I think because they deal with such harsh and extreme weather, their recruitment process over there is horrendously hard and they're really efficient. Yeah, like the government has declared a state of emergency in Alberta, which is, their province is the size of France. Yeah. Like that's ridiculous size that they have to govern. And some other world news, to put it, it's still slightly like, but like kind of a bit more jovial. The University of Michigan did a study on sleep and
to see whether like gender and age and the country you're in, the time zone, the amount of natural light you get affects your sleep cycle.
Oh, cool.
And they've called it a global sleep crisis.
Oh, wow.
Because everyone's not getting as much sleep as they should, and therefore they're not functioning very well. And so Singapore and Japan have the lowest amount of sleep. They average 7 hours and 24 minutes. And then the maximum was the Netherlands at 8 hours and 12 minutes.
All asleep.
Which is only a 48-minute difference. But they say that even like half an hour is like a really big difference to like your cognitive function and health.
Well,
which is really
a
interesting.
sleep cycle is 35 minutes, isn't it?
I think it's around that,
Something
yeah.
like that.
So that makes
half
sense.
an hour does make it's like it's a whole sleep cycle.
Yeah.
Different.
And overall, middle-aged men get the least amount of sleep, and women on average sleep about 30 minutes longer than men.
Oh, how fascinating.
Yeah.
I also remember that I read something once that actually you're supposed to get like 13 hours of sleep a day. It's just that nobody does because there's no time for it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, they were saying that like the pressures of like social pressures are force people to like when they have to cut back on something, they choose to cut back on sleep, which is so true. The amount of times that I'm like, I have to do this thing, I'll just stay up an hour later to do it rather than actually going to bed and like getting up earlier and doing it.
And then you always say to yourself, I'll just catch up and sleep another day.
And you never do. And then we're always like wondering why we're all perpetually tired.
But even if you do catch up on another day, that's not like the point. Like you're going to feel better if you always have a consistent sleep pattern. Like if you always go to bed in like a 15-minute window every night and wake up within a 15-minute window the same every morning, you're going to feel so much better. And I think that's apparently regardless of whether you sleep for like 6 hours every night or like 9.
Well, it's true. It's like if you like get up really early for work every single day and then like Saturday, like I'm going to sleep in, you sleep until 9 and you just feel rubbish for the whole day.
Yeah,
because you've just messed up your cycle. Yeah, for sure. And as we all know, on Sunday, it was Mother's Day, which I think is a nice little, like it's not really a news story, but happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and grandmothers and aunts.
And everyone else, and especially to our own 3 p.m. Takeover mothers who are listening, and to our own mothers, Jill and Heather.
Yeah, because we
love
them.
you.
Did you spoil your mum on Mother's Day?
I did.
I tried my best to spoil my mum, but she was like kind of busy for the morning, and I tried to get up early and cook her breakfast. And
we went out for breakfast and got some presents. It was good.
Yeah. So happy Mother's Day to all the mums and important women in our lives. And we hope you guys enjoy this song. This is not quite as jovial
as it could be.
It's Hello by Adele, but
it's popular.
Yeah.
Mums
and
like it.
And Adele's a great mum. So
that too.
She is. Enjoy. Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover. Hope you enjoyed a bit of emotional Adele.
She is always so emotional. So great though.
Her songs like somehow always hit a heartstring. Like,
did you watch that like Adele in New York thing that was on the other night?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was really great. Her singing live.
I remember reading like I think it was a tweet or something, and someone was saying that Adele's songs make them think of all their exes, and they're like, I've only been with one person, like, but it makes you like miss all these people you've never been with, and like
that's so funny.
And it's so true.
Oh
she's incredible. But if you've noticed the time, you'll notice that it's almost 4 o'clock, which means it's time for Suburb Focus. I wonder if I can keep this up for like 30 weeks. Let's find out. So
we're kind of getting there with Suburb Focus. I think we're like nearly a third of the way through the Northern Beaches.
Wow. That's gone quickly and also a lot slower than I thought.
Yeah.
Because we are inching our way down, inch. We're hitting Eleanor Heights today. And
still in Pittwater.
Yeah. But people just much
by the time we move out of Pittwater, there will have been the amalgamation, and then like it won't even be worth it.
Oh, like formally in Manly Council. Yeah, so this is just the amalgamation just needs to like stretch out until after the end of Suburb Focus. So Eleanor Heights, which I didn't know this at all, Eleonora is derived from the Aboriginal word meaning home by the sea or home by the water. And then Heights obviously meaning up high. So it kind of means home by the water up high.
Eleanor Heights is kind of on a weird slope, isn't it?
I was going to say it makes sense because geographically it's on a hill but near a lagoon. So
it like slopes down from the top near Powder Works and then like goes down towards Narrabeen.
Yeah, so it makes sense that it is up high but near the sea. It's really strange.
I never knew there was so much thought in that name.
Neither did I. I think just growing up in Australia with words like Wagga Wagga and Woolloomooloo, you just like accept the names of places. You never question them.
True.
And so yes, it sits above the hill. It sits on the hill above Narrabeen. It overlooks Narrabeen Lagoon and the Tasman Sea. And the northern side is basically just like bushland. Ku-ring-gai Chase National Park. And the southwestern side is Garigal National Park. So it's
Garigal.
very bushy, but it's also a very residential area.
Yeah, so many people live there.
Except for there's like shops and residential, and then it has 2 golf courses.
Yeah, there's like one little set of shops, and otherwise like just houses.
Yeah, and it's a lovely little area. I was actually there on the weekend visiting a friend who lives there.
Oh, yeah. And it's very much a drive-through suburb.
It is. It's really nice.
It's a nice place. It's very quiet.
Until I stopped there, I'm like, this place is actually really lovely. They have lots of native wildlife, bandicoots and blue-tongued lizards, possums, many birds. A rare quoll can be found every now and then, which is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't see
that
them
is
very
unusual.
Often. Rock wallabies are commonly seen on the golf course. I love that idea. And like the golf courses themselves are really beautiful.
I know what it is about Eleanor Heights. When you're there, it's so like secluded and like in your suburb, but then you're just 5 minutes from everything else.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's the bushland that does it. It feels tucked away.
It feels almost semi-rural.
Yeah. So Eleanor Heights began its life as Eleanor Heights Estate in 1929. And then over the years it progressed and was kind of bought by other people and was shortened down to Eleanor Heights. And initially it was promoted to be close to the city. It was only about 20 kilometres away, and this was before the Hub Bridge was built, but it was about to be built. And
before everything was built.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was promoted as like, it's going to be closer to the city, and it's Hub Bridge is going to be a main link for stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And interestingly, it really began in 1888 because coal mining was attempted.
Wow.
They found natural gas, and so they kind of like switched to natural gas instead of coal
mining. I guess the
topography
kind of shows that.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And then eventually it became much more residential, and here we are today.
Oh, who knew that? That's really cool. So if you listen to our show and you live in Eleanor Heights, big shout out to you. Thanks for listening. And we want to hear from you. So write on our Facebook page, facebook.com/the3pm takeover.
Otherwise, we've reached the very end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a good time. And if you happen to be moving this weekend, we hope that we helped.
True. And important message of the week. Don't forget to watch Eurovision.
Yes.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday on SBS. Do not miss it. We will do a quick recap next week, and you want to be on top of things.
All we're going to be doing is like talking about it in our personal, public and radio live. So you may as well know what we're talking about.
True. Indulge yourself.
Yep. We'll see you next week, guys. Enjoy Eurovision.